start whenever you want. Yeah, you can grab him, pull it closer.
Okay, it's 6:30 p.m. and the Waste Committee is called to order. So the first item on the agenda is open forum. I don't believe we have anybody tonight, so okay, so we're going to move on. Okay, new business. So we have a membership applicant. If you look at some of the backs, Ella, again, she doesn't live in town resident, so she would not be a voting member. So just look over that, and then just read.
Yeah, I know Bella Rigroff personally, good friends with her father. She is looking for volunteer opportunities, working with local communities. She goes to Windermere High School. She recently got a job at Panera Bread, so she had training the last 2 days, including tonight, so she was able to attend, but she does plan on attending these meetings frequently.
Does anybody make a motion to accept Ella as a member? I'll make a motion. So, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? Nope. Okay. So we'll start with me. So let me go down the list. Corey, Jake, Haley, Darby's not here. Maddie. Can you hear it? Yes. Hi. Okay. And then Annalie's not here. Quinn.
Aye.
Ananya. Yeah, she says aye. I might be able to hear it. Okay, so motion passes. So we'll have to tell my welcome. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we had scheduling issues because the historical board has meetings on Wednesdays at the same time, so it's just easier to do town hall, I think, just with mask and everything. So we originally were thinking about moving our meetings to the first Thursday of each month at 6:30. So does that work with everybody? I think we had somebody that.
Hello. It doesn't work for me because I have crew at 6:45 every Thursday.
I wonder if we can move it. What if we move it to like 6?
That would just change me 30 minutes at the meetings.
Is there, I don't know, can you just like figure out a difference date or just email?
We can send an email out and pull all the members and just figure out a time that works out for everybody. There's some that are going to have conflicts at certain seasons, again, with your after school sports and activities and clubs and so on and so forth. But again, as long as there's a reasonable excuse why you're not able to attend, that still shouldn't preclude you from participation in the club itself. So yeah, we can send it out. I can have Diane send it out to everybody and then come up with some sort of game plan on the time and date, what pretty much works for the majority of the people, so we can have a quorum. Because right now the executive order states that we have to have a quorum in person, meaning the majority has to be in person and the rest can be via Zoom. I'd rather it be one way or the other. It's a lot easier for me and it's a lot easier for everybody else, especially with the acoustics. But we'll try to do what we can to accommodate everybody.
Robert, may I make a suggestion? I think that if everyone completed a form that had kind of day by day hours that they could block as free, like just code it green from whatever hours they're available on each weekday, then you could kind of come up with a matrix concept and then see where you have overlap.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think that's an easier form to fill out. I'd be happy to help with it anyway. I mean, just to take some burden off of town staff. Just let me know.
Thank you. Okay, so we'll figure that Okay, so the next item is t-shirts. So obviously we have new members, so I was just thinking about, or we make a place to order. I was gonna email, Ms. Montgomery, Grace gave me her email, so we just need to get everybody's sizes in the order. So it just depends if we would get new shirts for returning members or just get shirts for members.
Completely up to the committee.
Guys, need new shirts or it'll be the same design as last year.
I mean, the old people should still have the shirt. So.
Yeah. I think we could do a different color and do that, but or we could just keep it the same and just order them. New members, you think? Yeah. Okay, so we get the sizes. And how do I do that? Do I email it to you guys? Like, how do we place the order?
Yeah, well, we can use Diane, email the new members and get the sizes, and then we can pull the old invoice and then contact the vendor and then just order the sizes and get them in.
Okay. Okay, so if you're a new member, just tell me the size real quick. I think that's it, and then I'll reach out to Ella and see if she is her stuff. Okay, and next item is events. So I guess we'll start with Zest Fest. That's not an event. But so basically, I talked to the Society of St. Andrew. So I was trying to figure out how to do it safely as possible. And I talked to them, and they do stuff with St. Luke, so they're familiar with the area. And this person I talked to, she would come down here, so she provides the gloves, the supplies, the buckets, and she also provides waivers for all volunteers in the town. If something happens to the fruit, we're not responsible or anything like that, and she helps us deliver them. So I went to the historical board meeting, and they agreed, and they voted on it the next meeting, saying that's fine, but they said they could send somebody down to the schoolhouse, we could do that. But they were suggesting if there wasn't enough oranges, people could bring their own, but I wouldn't want to do that. They have to see gloves and everything. So we have to figure out a date with the events and everything. Are we allowed to have it?
It just depends on what you feel the turnout's going to be. Is it going to be something where it's going to have a certain amount of people at a certain exact time, or is it going to be a certain amount of people throughout the day? Example is food trucks. We can't have food trucks because 1,000+ people would be here at one time. But with the Arbor Day tree pickup, it's 5 people at a time coming through. So it depends on how you work it out logistically. Are you gonna have people just handing out fruit, or are you just gonna be picking fruit? Do you limit times, limit the numbers? Right now we're looking at late spring, which stinks for you guys because that's when you're looking at graduation and all sorts of stuff. But with the pandemic, we're restricted per the executive order to 100 or less.
So I was thinking, like, we were going to do a big social thing, but obviously we were going to have food for people and do myself, but that's just people clustering and stuff. So it would just be a volunteer event, just like picking and dropping them off like an area. So I think we could either do like what you're saying, like have people sign up, like 5 people for a certain time, and we can send it out on the town website or something. But if not, then we can always plan it. Because if we do that, we have to do it soon, so there's no oranges. But if not, we can always do it next year, and then I can just like develop a plan and whatever it takes. So next year, we always do it then. So,
I like the idea of having people sign up for certain times because then that guarantees their spot. And I think we should limit the time. I think it comes. So like you said, we could do like an hour slot for a certain amount of people, and then once that hour's done, we'll take it down to whatever and say, hey, the next people come in.
Yeah, I was like the idea because it's have an event next week. So I can figure out plans.
Yeah, just you can work out the logistics with myself, Diane, and then Public Works as well. And we've done plenty of events, so we can give you some ideas of, again, controlling the crowd. You know, when you have certain time slots, say you have 5 different time slots, you can get 5 different wristbands, so you know who's supposed to be in which crowd and when they need to go and stuff like that, so you're not holding people back. But we'll be able to work it out.
Great. So that's it for that. Any other events that you guys are working on, ideas and stuff?
Well, I know from last meeting we were talking about the game night events. Realistically, I think the game night would be a good one, because you can have like most games require like 2 people, so you could do different stations, and then everyone still keeps their mask on, and you just have like 2 people in another corner, kind of just rotate. You could have multiple games, multiple stations per game. So say 2 Monopoly stations, just putting randomly out there. But you could have like 2 different, so then people can spread out more while still playing the games.
Yeah, that'd be good, especially. Wait, so is there any person who's like, are you head of that game?
I don't know who brought it up. I just heard it for the announcement last meeting. I just like the idea. I wasn't the one who proposed it, but I mean, I can take charge if that person doesn't claim it. I don't think they're at this meeting.
I feel like it was Anna.
Yeah, like we can talk to some of the members, be like, hey, I'm this idea, no one wants to do it, and we want to go through it, and I'll take charge.
So that would be good. So if you want to get in contact with me, figure out some like a plan stuff. Try to get that. I would. Okay. Do you want to work together? Oh, sure. Sure, that works. More than people.
Yeah, it can be a subcommittee. So all you have to do is just set up a time where you can meet with myself, Diane. We can do a Zoom call, and then just figure out a date, a time, and then how to advertise it, and then which games, you know, and then how we're going to do it, you know. So yeah, it's a good idea.
Any other events?
We do have the March event. I didn't know if you had that on your list to talk about.
Okay. There's a March event. I didn't get the details. Basically, I did a wear shirt stuff. I was asking you guys if you would need, but they need volunteers, and so I'm gonna send out more information about that because I just want to make sure I get all the details. But we'll have time slot for volunteers, and we can put on the town website, open up to not just Louise members, because just in case some of you guys can't, I want to make sure we have as much volunteers as possible. So I'll send that information to the group for details.
Yeah, it's, you guys, we're here for Windermere Wine and Dine, or a lot of your parents have attended Windermere Wine and Dine in the past. It's one of the most successful events in Windermere. It's a huge fundraiser, and because of COVID, now they're looking at doing something like they did at Dr. Phillips Center, where they had Linda's going to put on a show. They're going to divide it up into little squares. So you rent a square for the night, and depending upon what type of level you are, you get a different type of wine, a different type of food. So you'll be working on parking, making sure that, you know, the food's being delivered, stuff like that. And then we'll do it on a rotation basis. But yeah, that's gonna be an easy way for you guys to get volunteer hours. It's a great event. They're contributing $25,000 to the Second Harvest Food Bank, which is great right now because the food banks are pretty much empty during the COVID times. So again, that's something for you guys to advertise and say, hey, listen, we helped raise this money for this cause. So yeah, CT Allen's ahead of that. I think Bill Martini's working on it as far as the committee. I believe it's March 9th. So it's getting close to spring break. I'm not sure when your actual spring break is, but I believe it's March 9th is the date of the event, and I can have more details at the next meeting.
Robert, I think it's March 6th. That's a Saturday, correct? It's on a Saturday.
March 6th then.
Yeah, music among the. Yep.
Anything else regarding events? for now? Okay, and then for other items of consideration, I just had one thing. We had took some pictures at the Halloween when we helped the baby bags. Thanks for people that helped out. You know, they really appreciated it. It finished so fast, but I was wondering, did those pictures get on Facebook or Instagram? Because I know we took some.
I sent it to I'm sorry.
Yeah, just speak up.
I did send it to somebody and she said she can put it on there.
She can't, or
She said she was going to.
Okay, okay, so I don't have Facebook, so I probably shouldn't, so I can see, but I just know it was on Instagram.
No, I believe it was posted. I think they only posted maybe 1 or 2 pics. But again, you guys did it so fast that, and we ran out of candy halfway through. We actually had to drive and go get more candy. I think they were a little trigger happy at the very beginning by throwing like 10 bags at like 2 kids. Because we didn't anticipate how many kids were going to show up. And I mean, it was packed. It was a very successful event. Thank you very much for your contributions on that. Again, if you need me to sign off on your volunteer hours, please just go ahead and submit those. Or if you need an email from me to verify your hours, I'll be more than happy to do that.
Anybody else have anything to add?
Actually, I will say, Rayland, when you have a chance to talk a little bit more and get some details around Zest Fest, the Historic Preservation Board is very interested in getting updates on it. The liaison from council for that committee has asked me just, you know, anytime that there's any information or news and progress on that. So after you have a chance to talk with Robert and Diane, if any of you, Robert, Diane, whoever, can let me know or let Councilman Williams know so that he can give that information to the Historic Preservation Board. They're just interested in when it will be out at the schoolhouse and what might be needed from that committee to help support, because they're very interested in helping partner with the Way Committee on that event.
Yeah, I've been emailing them and updating them, so I was just happy because they emailed me a few days ago and I just got their approval and stuff. So that's why I've just been working on the plan and then the 7th map. So they just need another date and now I'm sorry.
Great, glad you're on top of it. I knew you would be. Thanks.
Thank you. No? That was a quick meeting. Okay, well, I guess, okay, do I have to do a motion to adjourn?
No, you can just adjourn the meeting. You know, I didn't know if you were talking about any further recruitments or any other ideas that you guys had, or as far as volunteering. I know the Elders Committee was delivering food last time. I didn't know if you want to start coordinating with the Elders Committee on food delivery or helping bag food for the elderly, because again, they can't get out right now. So I can get you in touch with Bob McKinley and he can get you some volunteer hours as well. Because I know it's really, really hard right now to get those volunteer hours, but also it's another way to give back to the community. I mean, the connection between the old generation, young generation, stuff like that, but that food drive was very successful in October.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Robert, the next elderly, the elders luncheon that they're doing delivery is Tuesday, December 15th. I know that because I can't help that day. I have a conflict. So that's when the next day they would need help packaging and delivering.
All right. So email me if you're available that day and I'll get you in touch with Bob McKinley and see how you can help.
I think you can add it on the sign with you.
Yeah.
Do you know, I'll say too that they might need, if any of you are bakers and like baking, Susan Carter, the head of the Elders Committee, is always interested in getting sweets to add to what they're delivering. And so if you're not able to actually go and help deliver or package on that day because you have classes or other things that conflict in your schedule, if you're able to bake cookies or something like that, some treats, brownies, whatever, and deliver them to Susan Carter or arrange for her to pick them up from you, we can put you in touch with her. And that could be something that you arrange for a drop off on Monday night or something if you have more availability then. And you could clock your hours as, you know, getting your supplies together and baking and things like that. I don't know that the committee actually reimburses for your baking supplies. I've never sought reimbursement when I've contributed, but if you have extra baking ingredients at home and wish to contribute and have special recipes, our elders really enjoy getting the treats. It might be some of their favorite part of the luncheons. So that's another thing that you can consider as you reach out to Robert about how you might be involved and get some hours there too.
We do reimburse you for the costs. So just keep your receipts if you go to Publix or somewhere else to get your ingredients.
Thanks, Robert.
Just yeah, for next meeting, just we have the game night and I'll look on this fest. Like new members and return members, just start like because a lot of like I know the volleyball, I mean softball, that was kind of new. So just come to the next meeting with some ideas, really get some stuff, more stuff in action. That's all. And anything else? I have something, but it's not like regarding like the times that we're talking about, like I can just create a Google form at the times and just send it to you, or put it in your group. Yeah, and then I can figure out what times are available. Well, right now, I'll tell you which ones are available. That'd be great. So we know. Good. Don't want to miss anyone.
Doesn't have to be a long one.
Okay, this meeting is adjourned at 6:52 p.m.
Thank you.
Happy holidays. Enjoy your break.
Yeah.